me see if I can get this done right. I'm walking with the camera myself, guys. I don't have a cameraman today. None of my friends are helping out, but I'm out here in Coconut Grove again, and we're actually going to share with you another story of a person who is out here, you know, living without a real home. We actually met this guy a couple of weeks ago when we came out here to talk with Donald, one of the homeless guys we talked with, when Donald shared a story. We're in an area right now in Coconut Grove called the Anchorage, and the reason why they call it the Anchorage is because pretty much it's where people dock their boats here year-round, and this is more of the motorboat side, but well, there's some sailboats out here. A lot of them are sailboats. I'm not saying motorboat, but believe it or not, people actually like live out here all the time on their boats, and a lot of it is older boats that people, you know, don't really want anymore, that, you know, people fix up and they live out on their boat. It's their home. This is like where a lot of the older sailboats are docked here in the water, right here on Coconut Grove. And they're here year round, so whenever there's a hurricane or anything, usually these people have to move their boats out of here, or they'll end up getting blown away by the strong winds. A lot of the storms that come through, even tropical storms, can bring strong winds through. If you look this way right here, beyond those mangroves right there is Biscayne Bay, pretty much. Well, we're about to introduce you to a guy who is a victim of Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans, and actually he ended up here in Miami, and he's technically homeless right now. Somebody gave him a boat to live on for the time being, which is kind of cool that somebody would even do that. Let's meet him. Come on. We met you, Charlie, like about a couple of weeks ago out here, and your story, actually my friend Justin was like, that's an interesting story to hear from somebody. Tell us how you ended up here in you know, Coconut Grove.
Well, I was evacuated from New Orleans. I went from the New Orleans Superdome to the New Orleans International Airport, and flew from there in a C-130 Army cargo plane, medical charter to Opelika. Went from Opelika to Jackson Memorial Hospital for 10 days. And I met a guy through another hurricane. Once I got here after Katrina, I met another guy, and he showed me, you know, a place to, you know, where people treat you like people, and I could have all the coconuts I wanted.
I mean, you actually aren't here by circumstance. I mean, you are here by circumstance, but you were a victim of you and your business and I mean, you lost.
I had a roofing company in New Orleans. I had a house in the Garden District of New Orleans. And they said Katrina was coming, and I was walking through Jackson Square one night, and the cops in a van showed up with a van behind them, saying if we didn't get off the street. I was on my way to the store. They said if we didn't get off the street, we had a choice. We could either go to the Superdome or we could go to jail. So I jumped in the car, or in the van, and went to the Superdome. And that's when all the stuff started really happening.
I think most people don't realize, like, they're not open to, like, to understand people's stories, that people aren't just out here because of drugs or alcohol. There's things that happen to people in life, and then it could.
Oh yeah, I had a good company. I had a roofing company. I had 3 crews. Matter of fact, 2 of my crewsmen's, or my foremans, drowned in the house that I had because I was just on my way to the store. And by me walking through Jackson Square and going to the store, you know, it's like a, I don't know how you say it, but something just, everything happens for a reason, I guess. I don't know, man. It's weird.
And like now, where are you at? I know you're one of the more fortunate people out here because somebody You had said donated a boat to you, an old boat that you're living on.
Well, they haven't really donated no boat. I still have to pay, a little bit
To live on it.
to live on it. I have to rent the dinghy and everything, but I'm not going to be sarcastic towards the government or anybody else. I'm not going to point the finger, dude, on, any names of government officials or anything, but what I went through, man, was, a lot of people went through a lot of hurt and a lot of pain, dude, and it's you're only one disaster away, or one, you'll never know. I don't know how to tell you this, man, but you never know what you're gonna go through from day to day. Since Hurricane Katrina happened, a lot of stuff's really popped up and really got my attention. It's how the people treat you. We're treated. I consider myself now, and I'm gonna look into the camera when I say this. Is that cool?
Yeah.
We're treated. We're looked at now as they called us refugees. We're not refugees. We're survivors. There's a lot of survivors. The whole Gulf Coast stream, the whole Gulf Coast, from Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Mexico was hit. So I'm not mad at the government, dude, for like being real slow, because I'm not the only one that's hurt. But what I do think is kind of a scratchy situation is how the people in America will treat. See, I wasn't homeless or nothing like that. I was never homeless. Never in my I had a couple times when I moved that I was, in a scarce situation, but I see some stuff, dude, that would just literally drive a man insane because of the nightmares. I've been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, post-traumatic stress disorder, bipolarism, you name it. Bipolarism and all that stuff comes from the blood, but the post-traumatic stress disorder was something. I got beat up in the Superdome with a piece of an army cot and ended up here in Miami, and I can't say it's all the government's fault. I'm not going to say it's all the government's fault, because it's not, but there is people out there that do care about people. These people don't really, these people that live in all these condos and drive, nice cars, I'm not stereotyping them either. I mean, they're cool people. But once you really, deep down inside, get to know somebody or go through what they're going through or put yourself in their shoes, as you would call it, you'll never know what's out there. And this stuff here, man, I love Coconut Grove. Coconut Grove is awesome, and this is where I made my home. But it's hard. I live life every day just to come down here to the shrimp boats and try to, make some money for food and whatever else you want to call it. I still have nightmares. I still have all that stuff. When you go up to a National Football League dome like the Superdome in New Orleans, you expect to see a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is as an example. You live to see a game. We lived to see the next day after this hurricane hit.
So where do you go from here? Like, what's next for you?
My life, I've made it right here. I mean, I really don't know what's going to be here tomorrow because I don't live for that, but I've met some cool people here in Miami, and I really didn't have no choice. I was evacuated here for medical reasons. I was so messed up and beat up. I was asleep when I got hit with a army cut aluminum tubing, and you really have no choice, man. You know, you really have no choice on what hits people sometimes. You can take it as a, you know, just as a, I don't know how you'd say it. You can take it as a loss, or you can take it as a gain. To me, myself, I took it as like a split between gain and how you doing, China? But you know, you just, it's really hard, man, sometimes.
Okay.
Looking back on some of that stuff, so it's really touchy. You know what I mean?
Is there anything else you'd like to say in general? Because I pretty much think that we captured the most.
I like to say in general to the people of this world, man. You could end up out here, dude, in the next 10 seconds, the next 20 seconds, or the next 10 years. But once you end up out here, it's not all that bad. I mean, there's bad parts about it, and you get looked at, dude. I'm from the South. I was born in Fort Worth, Texas, and I grew up in New Orleans, Monroe, and you say good morning to some of these people around here, man, and they don't even know who you are. They don't know what you've been through or nothing. They just stereotype you. They're like, they look off, you know? But see, it seems like to me, every place that they look off is always a good color. You know? It's always a good color because they've not been what you're going through. Until they step, you know, one time in your footsteps. Our footsteps aren't like a lot, you know, like the holy one, you know, that all these people have, but our steps are marked. What we go through every day is, there's a reason for it. And I'm not holding nobody against it, but a lot of people need to really understand, dude. Just because there's homeless people out here and there's transients or whatever they call them, stop being so stereotypical and judgmental, because you might end up the same way one of these days, dude. It's just a matter of a storm, a tornado, a tsunami. It don't matter. It's just a matter of time, dude, before something might go wrong in their situation. And no matter what, you could have all these condos in Miami, you could have all these cigarette boats, you could do whatever, you could have a company and all that stuff, dude. It can be lost in 3 days. I lost my roofing company and everything, dude, within 3 days. I was in a Superdome for 5. Ended up in the hospital for 10. Okay. And it's all I want you people to see is not everybody is what you think they are. You might be talking to an angel, dude, and you don't even know it. I just want people to realize, man, that this is not intentional. It's not because I like to be here. It's just, you have no control over Mother Nature and nothing else. Your own destiny you might have control over if you go towards it, but people need to realize, man, that not everybody out here wants to be here. And I don't want to be here. I kind of like it now because I know a lot of people, a lot of good people here, but it's just not. It's not me. I like to have my shit. Or my bad. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's
French,
okay.
But I like to have my own thing, and I've been forced to live like this pretty much ever since. And luckily, the Grove has helped me. I don't live out here in one of these nice sailboats y'all see in the backgrounds. I live on a little no mast, painted like the Miami Hurricanes sailboat with no mast. And I do like it, but I hate it in the same aspect. It's not normal to what I'm used to living like.